Hey everyone, welcome back to Cybertrack. Today we'll be diving into one of the most important frameworks in cybersecurity. So that's basically called MITRE ATT&CK framework. So if you are a beginner or else a student or someone looking to become a SOC analyst, then this video will make everything very simple and easy to understand. So don't forget to subscribe my channel and let's get into the video. Okay, so now let's open the MITRE ATT&CK framework. So you guys will get an understand how it look like. So basically this is the MITRE ATT&CK homepage. So what MITRE ATT&CK is? So basically MITRE ATT&CK is a global knowledge base of attacker behavior. So it will explain like how the attackers break into the system and then what they do after they are entering, and then how they move around inside, and then how they avoid this detection and finally also how they steal this data. So basically this is the concept of MITRE ATT&CK framework. So the new version has been released, which is version 18, and it's completely free, and all most every security team around the world uses it. So it is used by all the security teams around the world. Like now think of MITRE ATT&CK as a guide, so that will explain the entire life cycle of a cyber attack based on a real incident. So now let's get into this framework. So basically we call uh, it has TTPs. So basically TTP means tactics, techniques and procedures. So to understand a MITRE ATT&CK properly, you need to know these two terms. So which are the two main important terms in MITRE ATT&CK framework. So that's tactics and techniques. So now I'll explain in simple terms. Basically, now when it comes to tactics, so this is meant by what the attacker wants to achieve. So basically, these are the hacker's goal or the attacker's goal. So these are reconnaissance, research development, and initial access, or else persistence, or else privilege escalation, and then credential access, or else lateral movement, command and control, or else exfiltration. So all these are the tactics. For example, now in initial access, if we take initial access, simply this means how the attacker wants to get into the system. So this is basically known as tactics. When it comes to techniques, so there are several techniques under the tactics. So you could see under each tactics there are several techniques. So basically, technique is like how they are going to achieve it. Now we know that attackers are going to do something, so that's on the procedure of tactics. So a technique will explain how they are going to attempt it. So basically, these are the methods that attackers use. Some of the examples are like phishing, or else exploiting a vulnerability, or else using stolen passwords, or else running malicious scripts. So basically, you can remember tactic is where the attacker wants. So, sorry, what the attacker wants, and then technique is how they are going to do it. So this structure will help us to break down attacks in a systematic way. So you could see the metrics. So these reconnaissance, initial access, execution, persistence, so all these are tactics, and other tactics, you could see several kind of techniques. So now imagine I will choose a technique randomly. Let's go with phishing. So basically when you click phishing here, phishing has four sub techniques. So basically, phishing is a technique. So that's under initial access. So under one technique, there is an technique. So within this technique, there are several sub techniques. So in this phishing, there are four sub techniques. So basically, this will explain what phishing is, and then the how attackers use it, and then how real world groups use it, and what are the real world groups that are using it, and how to detect it and the mitigation strategies and how to defend against it. So all these stuffs will be explained here. So basically this will give both knowledge and practical defense guidance. So now, for example, I'll take a real world example. So in a technical wise, let's assume a cyber attack may follow the steps such as now, when it comes to now initial access. Basically, let's assume that, for example, an attacker is sending a phishing email content malware. Okay, so this is a part of the initial access. So what happens is the user opens the attachment, or else the victim will try to open the attachment. So once he opens it, the malicious code runs. So that's basically called as execution. So it has been executed and the code is running now. And then when it comes to credential access, so basically the attacker will steal the saved password from the computer of the victim. And then when it comes to lateral movement, is something like the attacker moves from one device to another in a network. So basically, he'll move from one device to another device. And assume like if we take exfiltration, so it is something like the attacker will transfer the sensitive files to an external server. So this is how the MITRE attack breaks down real attacks step by step. For example, now let's get into a non-technical kind of an example. Since most of you guys wouldn't understand technically, now let's do like this. For example, if we take reconnaissance, so basically we'll assume this as an example as, for example, a thief. Now a thief is gonna steal something. Okay, so basically what happens is a thief walks around a neighborhood's house by observing, like for example, like which houses have cameras, or else when the owner sleeps, or which windows are unlocked. So basically the thief is collecting the information just like a hacker scanning targets. So basically when you compare with this non-technical example with a technical example, so basically what happens is the thief is collecting information. So that's basically reconnaissance. So in terms of technical, it's just like an hacker will scan the targets. So if we take initial access, so that's where the thief will find an open window, or else he'll find a weak door lock. So he wanted to enter, no, so he will find a weak door lock or something. When it comes to technical wise, basically it is the attacker who is entering into the system. So when we take privilege escalation, so for example, in non-technical manner, it is like a thief is now inside the house, but he wants access to the bedroom. So imagine bedroom has a valuable places like gold or silver or something. So he want to enter into bedroom. Now he's inside the house. So now he finds he picks the the lock and finds the key. So basically, in technical term, this is like gaining admin rights. So admin privileges is the highest privilege. So basically, you get the admin rights. So if you get the admin rights, you can do whatever you want. You can even view the protected folders or do all the stuffs in an admin manner. So this is basically the privilege escalation. So if when it comes to credential access, imagine now credential access is something like, for example, now the thief has entered inside a bedroom. Now he finds the locker key or the safe password that's written down on the paper or something. Now he has a locker key. That's basically, in technical terms, as the attacker stealing the credentials of the victim. And when we take exfiltration, so basically exfiltration is something like when it comes to thief, he opens the locker and then takes the valuable items like gold or something, and then he escapes without being caught. So basically, when this is combined with the technical term, so this is how the attacker steals the data and erases so the footprint. So this is how the process goes on. So whether it's a hacker in a network or a thief in a house, the steps are the same. So they observe and then they enter and then they go deeper and then they find the keys and then they steal and escape. So there is a kind of a procedure. So this is basically the tactics and techniques we use in MITRE ATT&CK framework. So when it comes to SOC team, basically now let's see how SOC team uses this MITRE ATT&CK in real life. Basically, they'll be using for mostly investigating alerts. Now, SOC analysts will map the alerts to specific MITRE techniques, and then they'll be using threat detection. So, like SIEM tools like Sentinel or else Splunk, Wazoo, IBM. So, these tools they'll be using with these techniques to build the detection rules. And then the incident, when it comes to incident response, it's like during the investigation, SOC team will follow the attacker steps using the MITRE matrix. And then if it comes to red team versus blue team, something like red team will use it for attack planning, and blue team will be using it for defense and detection. So if it comes to reporting, is like all cyber incident reports reference MITRE technique ID. So basically, technique ID is something I'll show you like in phishing. So basically, this is the technique ID which starts with T1566. So basically, they'll be following these technique IDs. So each inside each technique there are several sub techniques, not for all techniques. Each sub technique has an ID. So basically, you could get all the IDs. So you could see here, this is technique, and it changes according to the ID. And apart from that, now you may ask, then why do cybersecurity students must learn this? So basically, if you want to work in cybersecurity, especially in SOC, MITRE ATT&CK is an essential thing because it's used in every job nowadays. It will help you to understand the real attacks, and then helps in threat hunting investigations, and then improve the knowledge quickly. So mostly interviews also will be asking questions when it comes to cybersecurity. So this framework is one of the most important framework you guys need to know, because each step is important. Each techniques is important in order to know the correct method, how this has been how this has been running and how it's occurred. So basically, what's happening inside the system. So all these steps you guys need to know. Hope you guys have got an idea related to MITRE ATT&CK framework. So, and this completes the beginner friendly breakdown of the MITRE ATT&CK framework. So, if you found this helpful, so please subscribe my channel and share your thoughts in the comment below. So, thanks for watching Cybertrack, and see you in the next video. Thank you so much.